Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I'm by name Mohammed Ishaq, mainly known as Moai Ishaq. You are going to be seeing more of my content on tech and forex, inshallah. So today we are going to be talking about full stack developers versus full stack engineers in the age of artificial intelligence. The whole reason why I felt we need to talk about this topic is when I sat down to think about, okay, who am I in the field of tech? Who actually am I? Am I a developer or am I an engineer in the age of artificial intelligence? And as we talk through this topic in this episode, I believe most of you are going to be convinced and you will have to answer the big question yourself. Am I a developer or am I an engineer?
Let's have it. Let's have it.
So, moving forward, let's ask ourselves these questions. Who is a developer and who is an engineer? A developer is someone who builds, while an engineer is someone who builds and knows how what he builds works. This is a very big difference and it's very important in this era of artificial intelligence. I want you guys to understand this. When we talk of, let's put it in technical terms, a full stack developer is someone who builds, he writes code, he edits code, he debugs code, right? A full stack engineer is someone who designs, he's going to design, he's going to build, that is build in such sense that he's going to write the code, edit the code, debug, and lots more. And he knows how it works. And what makes me emphasize on knowing how it works, that's even the main difference between a developer and an engineer. A developer is not necessarily must that he knows how it works, but an engineer knows how it works. This brings about the topic of what vibe coding. When we talk of vibe coding, that's what most developers, front end, back end, name it. That's what most people use now. They use what? Artificial intelligence, which we have named it into what? Vibe coding. Most people use artificial intelligence, they use agent to automate tasks. What is going to take you 3 months will take you, let's say, 1 week. What is going to take you 1 month is going to within 5 minutes, depending on the complexity of the project you are working on actually. But something that takes longer time, you do it within a short period of time. You see that artificial intelligence has made things easy for us. So most developers vibe code now. Most developers, what time? Why will you have to waste time and be coding manually when you understand? So things that you have to spend time on, you just vibe code and boom, you have what you want. But do you know how it works? If it breaks down at some point in time, do you know how to fix it? Because you see most people saying AID, and stuff like that, using that phrase of AID. You understand? And then at the end of the day, they use AI to automate tasks and build whatever it is they want, depending on what you want to achieve. You understand? Depending on the problem you want to solve. You finish building, and then God forbid, let me give a real life scenario. You built an application for maybe a business owner, someone who is into sales of phone and accessories. You understand? Eventually that system has to do with automated payments. Customers will come to the system, they will make payment and all. You understand? You have done it, you have used AI, you built, you understand? It's looking all nice and catchy, you understand? But when attackers like masqueraders, intruders, clandestine users, I'm not going into detail of explaining. I might explain in my next video, but I'm just listing. These are types of attackers when they attack the system and eventually they don't land. Abi, how will you approach solving the problem? Do you think then AI, where will you even start? What will you start looking at if you don't know how it works? What is the first thing you are going to say? Okay, this might be, you understand? What will you first look at that? Okay, this might be the problem. The attackers might have attacked you. So it's possible that you don't even have the technical knowledge of knowing what is an endpoint, how APIs work, and a lot of things. You don't know what is SQL injection. You don't know what's Trojan horse. You don't know how. You don't like. There are a lot of question marks to a lot of things that you don't even know where to start from. That's why it's very important for you to know how it works, not just build. Saying more, you have built the system, the issue happens now. That's when you now start looking for someone who actually knows how it works. You start looking, okay, you come and it just sums it up that AI eases the task for us, but you don't fully relent on AI. It answers it all. So to those that are saying AI and stuffs, this video is somehow for you also, and it's also for we developers, because I asked myself this question, and after this video, I have I'm going to be like wishing and hoping that you are also convinced to know that a developer and an engineer is not the same thing. Which I'm also making the same mistake currently. On my bio, you see that I declare myself as a developer instead of me saying I'm an engineer, because whatever it is I'm doing, I make sure to know how it works. Every process of everything I'm automating using an agent, or let's say artificial intelligence. Some people don't understand what I mean by agent. Whatever it is I automate, I know how it works. I know how I go about every single thing, so I can explain my code. You knowing how to explain your code is knowing, it shows that you knows how it works, and when problem arises, you can tackle it easily without having to run to someone. Because the time you even take to run to someone to help you solve that problem, a lot of damages have been done already. We are not praying for such. So ask yourself this question. I ask myself, am I a developer or am I an engineer? I've answered the question. I'm an engineer. So from now on, if I call myself a full stack engineer, please, most people should not be surprised. That's what we actually are in the era of artificial intelligence. Let me even ask this question before I end this video. Have you seen maybe an AI machine learning engineer calling himself AI machine learning developer? Nah. For you to be able to even use artificial intelligence and use it well, you need to know how it works. You need to know how it reasons. You understand? There are different types of models. We have generative AI. We have large language models. We have different types, and every model has what it does best. Every model is trained based on special attributes. We have different types of model. Do you know how those things works? You understand? These are things you need to look into. If you are into tech, you have to know that you have to keep on adjusting. You have to keep up to trend. When I talk about trend, that is, you have to keep up to. It's just like, we all know what trend is now. You have to keep up to trend, because the tech ecosystem is evolving always. Things are changing. You don't expect what is like this today to be the same way tomorrow. Things are changing. People change. So it is in the tech ecosystem. Things change. It will never remain the same. So I would like you guys to ask yourself this question again. I'm going to repeat. Am I a full stack developer or am I a full stack engineer? Please, I would like to see your answers to yourselves in the comment section. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.